This video is for section 2.1. Our objective in this video is to evaluate a function, specifically when the function is written in function notation, which is something that we're going to see quite a bit in this class. So example 3 is going to be the only example that we're going to do from this section. And example 3 says to find the indicated function value. And basically all that means is that you're going to plug in the value that they give you for x. So for part A, it says to find f of 4 for f of x equals 2x plus 3, and that means that I'm going to plug in 4 for x. And so when I do that, I get f of 4. F of x is 2x plus 3, so I'm going to plug in the 4 for the x, and then I just need to do order of operations correctly. 2 times 4, multiplication comes before addition, so I do 2 times 4 first, and then 8 plus 3, which equals 11. So f of 4 equals 11 is my answer. Now for part B, I want to find g of negative 2, which means I'm going to plug negative 2 in for x. So it'll be 2x squared minus 1, so 2 times negative 2 squared minus 1. Now you have to be careful when you're squaring negative numbers to make sure that you get the signs correct. Negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. So that is 2 times positive 4. I also need to remember to do exponents before multiplying, so I have to do that squared first before multiplying by 2. So this is going to be 8 minus 1, which gives me an answer of g of negative 2 equals 7. Now I want to show you what this looks like on calculator here. When you're typing negative numbers into a calculator, and this is a calculator from a website called Desmos.com. There's a link to this calculator on Blackboard, but for any scientific or graphing calculator, when you're typing this in, squaring the negative 2, you need to use parentheses. So I need to put parentheses around negative 2 squared to give me the positive 4. If I don't use parentheses, then what the calculator is doing is it's going to square the 2 first and then put the negative sign on afterwards because it thinks that that's what you want to do. And it's actually that you want to do negative 2 times negative 2. So you have to use parentheses. If not, you're going to get the wrong answer. And in this calculator, if I want to add the parentheses, I can just highlight that negative 2, click on the parentheses, and it'll add them in. You can also just type everything in all at once. So if I were to type in 2 times negative 2 squared minus 1, it's going to give me that correct answer of 7. And you can do it this way, or you can do it by hand. It kind of just depends on what you're comfortable with when it comes to using calculators. So that's part B. Lastly, here we're going to do part C. And part C is h of negative 5. This function uses r for the variable instead of x, but it's the same idea. The function, you can't see it, but it's r to the third. So it'll be negative 5 to the third minus 2r squared. So minus 2 times negative 5 squared, and then plus 5. So if I do negative 5 to the third, that's negative 125. I have to be careful here because, again, I want to square, do exponents before multiplying, so I need to do that negative 5 squared first and get positive 25, and then plus 5. So this will be negative 125 minus 50 plus 5, and if I add all those together, I get negative 170. So h of negative 5, the value of the function for r equals negative 5 is negative 170. What you should do next are the problems in checkpoint 3. Again, these are in the book as well. The answers to these problems are in the section notes, and then you can move on to the homework.